Hi everyone, once again, welcome to the GuiNet Technologies, and let's continue our session. So in the previous session, we understand what is the difference between the staging, pre-staging and the post-staging phases, and how they are going to form the IPsec, IKey connections between the branch to the controller, how the configuration is going to push from the director to the controller. And further, based on that, all information and the configuration and the verification, they will finally onboard the branch location to the SD-WAN fabric. So this is the theoretical things, but if you want to onboard in the practical way, then how it is going to work, right? So for that, we just have to understand the templates, how the template is going to be created and how based on the template, this device and branch location is going to onboard on the SD-WAN fabric. So let's understand. So if I try to understand the template, so we just have the template having the multiple way of this configurations. We having a device templates, we having the service template, we having the common templates. So device template is something, if you think about that, we know here device templates also known as a post staging template. So this is the same thing when I was trying to make you understand the post staging things via this process. So you can see post staging, we are having the full configuration. Okay. So this device template, whatever we have, they are acting as a post staging template are the baseline configuration that can be deployed across the branches and saving the time and effort in the configuration and deploying the similar service across the many branch in the network. So what that means? So that means, let's say suppose you want to build a template for the any of the location of the branch, right? So let's say suppose this branch having one router and they just having one LAN connection and one ISP is connected right here. This branch also having the one ISP, one LAN is connected, one router is connected. So for the both of the branch, we having a similar kind of setups, right? One ISP, one LAN, and they are going via the internet ISP only. So what I can do, if having 100 branch, so I can, if I not using the SD-WAN, so probably I have to build the 100 configuration by going the CLI configuration. So just have to go in the CLI, and after going in the CLI, probably I have to build the 100 based on the Excel file configuration or might be the notepad configuration. And then this is going to copy and paste to the all 100 locations of the branch routers. But if I am using the SD-WAN, I can create one of the template. So I can create one of the template. On this template, I'm not going to fill all the value as a fixed value. So what is all the value? Might be the WAN IP address, might be the LAN IP address, might be the circuit bandwidth, might be the speed and duplex. So I can create the variables. So what is the variables? That means I'll make them value as a optional or might be the variable. That means I'll leave as a default. And when I just push actual template to device, during that pushing, I'll just put the like interface IP address, interface description, whatever I want to do that. I'll show you how it is going to happen, how the variable is going to be created. So I'm not going to put the fixed value. I'm going to put the same variable and I can use the same template for across the all the site locations. If I have 1,000 site, 100 site, I can use that template for the all locations. So this is how the device template is going to be act a very vital role in the SD-WAN fabric. So what next? So if you see here, they are saying like if you're creating a device template, it is going to save a lot of cost, a lot of effort while deploying the branch locations. No need to just do the monotonous work and creating the similar kind of configuration for the all locations. Now we having the service template. Service template is something like if you having any services like DSCP, DNS, VRRP, any policy, so that is going to come under the service template. So let me show you. If I'm going in the Versa director, so if I'm going in the configuration, you can see there is service template. So we're having a lot of service template options. If you go here in service template, you can give the services name. You can see there's a lot of service like QA service, general application, service chain, secure access, next generation firewall. So this is going to act as a service template. So one is a template. We here you can see another is service template here. So device template, we know that is going to use for the different devices for the similar kind of like features, similar kind of design, similar kind of the configuration. Service template is like a small feature you want to deploy. You can use that feature from here. So shared and this organization service template. Now the third template, where we have, that is a common template. So common template is also known as the data stored template and automatically created for the organization. There is only one common template for the any tenant or any organization. The common template is always applied by default to the all devices in the tenant of the organization. So this is something you don't need to do anything. It is going to be created by automatic. So common template, whenever you just create any of the template for the any of the devices, for the any tenant, any organization. Tenant means like one group of the set of the organization. So let's say suppose I have the Versa director. In this Versa director, I have a 10 customer. So might be the 10 tenant. So one customer information cannot be exchanged to another customer. So that tenant information cannot be exchanged. So that is a unique to one tenant, one organization. So this is a common template. So you can say these are the something common template already it is created like RTIM, PLS zone and these all. So this is come under the common template. So once we create the common template, it is going to fall under the common template. Now moving the next. So after the common template, service template and device template, what next? So once you configure the device template, so this device template having a lot of features, lot of things, you just have to define the device template. Like you can see number of the WAN ports, organization history of branch, solution tier, service bandwidth, license subscription. So a lot of things we having characteristics defined in the common template. Staging template, post staging template, and the pre-staging template, we already know that. So I'm not going to read out again, and they are giving some example, but what we just have to understand while creating the template. So this framework is very important. So whenever you just create any of the templates, you just have to create first device template. And once you create the device template, this is must be bind with the device group. So you just have to define some device group where multiple devices is going to be called. And finally, that device group need to be with the bind data. So how it is going to happen? That is going to be very interesting. So whenever we just create any of the templates, so let's suppose I'm going and create the template. So this template, let's suppose I want to create one of the template, device template. So I just add. So this template itself having some name, some staging device, what we want to create, what is a tier, bandwidth and all. And after this, it is a template. You just have to create with a device group. So you just also have to create the devices, and under the devices, you just have to map the device group as well. So let's suppose I'm creating one of the device for testing purpose. You can see it is asking for the organization. So there is no organization name is showing. So later, once you create the organization and the branch type, everything will populated here, solution and all. Then you just have to call particular this, let me show device into device group as well. So you can see there is no device group. So additionally, you just have to create a device group. Who device group will be basically carry the information of which devices. So that is going to be called here. So this is a device group. So we'll cover one by one, and then finally they will bind the data. So if I go in the lab guide, let me show you. So let's say suppose this is one of the workflow where I'm just trying to create a template. So here also I can create, here I also can create. So workflow also, if you go in the template, you can see here's your template. So if you create from the here template, you'll find the more values, right? So you can see the post staging template, what kind of the template you are having, and this they are asking that lot of information management and all, right? So the same thing in the lab guide, you can see here, we have to put different information for the different device group, and based on that different information, we just have to complete the templates. Okay, and then this template will be finally bind with the services. How it is going to bind, let me show you. So you can see this is the management interface, this is a branch, and next we just have to go into devices and we just have to bind final information somewhere in the below. So this is the bind data. You can see here, this is the bind data. So all the bind data will be happen in the beginning. So let's start the process and we'll do how this template is going to be created. So we'll do step by step. So what is the requirement now? We understand the device template. We understand the common template. We understand what the service template, and we also understand the devices and device group. And finally, they have to bind together in the every devices. So how the configuration is going to be started. So for my case, what is the requirement? For my case, I just want to onboard this branch location. So for that, I need to create the template. So how can I start? So I have to go in the Versa director. I have to go in the workflow, and here is a template, and we just have to follow the lab guide. So you can see once I'm going in the template, we just have to fill the basic information for the template. So in this template, I'll just go here and I'll just create the template. And here I just have to put the basic information. So for which location I'm creating this template? So I'm creating this template for this branch location. This is my branch one, and this is connected to the internet ISP. Okay. So for that, I'll just put the name according to my lab guide. If you want to change your name, you can change it anytime. So I can just put here, like I can just make it a BR1, right? H1, and I'll make as an internet, right? So this is my template for this site. So this is my one of the site for which I want to make a template. And what is my post staging template? This is my SD-WAN post staging template. So I'll leave as default. And what is my organization? So this is my GuiNet lab organization. So I'll select the organization. It automatically choose the controllers because this controller is a part of this organization. So this has been automatically chosen. And what is my device type? This is the SD-WAN. Which type of the like connection you want to make, full mesh or hub and spoke or hub controller or spoke? So for time being, I'm making as a full mesh topology. Later we'll say how can we make the hub. So probably we'll make hub this location, then we'll configure it. But you just understand we are making the full mesh topology. So now I'm making the full mesh. Now what kind of the services you want to use? I will use the Premier Secure SD-WAN services. Elite I can also use, but I want to use a full security feature also. So I can use this one. Premier Secure SD-WAN feature, right? License period 1 month I can 1 year I can leave as a default. Bandwidth I can leave as a whatever you want to take. Let's suppose 100 Mbps. So it is going to take 100 Mbps bandwidth. It is up to you how device having what the circuit bandwidth you have. So accordingly you can choose the bandwidth here. So this has been done. So what next? So after defining the bandwidth and all, we just no need to select any software version. It will take automatically. Redundant pair, I'll tell you when it come in a picture and when it is going to be used. So for time being, it is not required. So I can just continue from here. I can save the information and I can continue. I can continue as well. So if I continue, it will move to the second phase. I can create directly from here. It will move here, or I can just simply now it is not going to move in the back from here. So see, it is not going to move here. So you can just continue from here. It is moved the interfaces. So here you just have to configure the interface configuration. So you can see in my lab, what is my interface? VNI 0/0 for the my WAN interface and VNI 0/1 for the LAN interface. So we just have to create a template for the WAN and LAN. So how it is going to happen? So let's understand. So one of the interface, you just click here, you can have the option you want to configure for the WAN or LAN. So I'll make as a WAN. So here you can see this is the WAN. If you create another interface, it is asking WAN or LAN. So I'll make as a LAN. So this is the LAN. So you can see here, even this portion also, I make the WAN and the LAN, both of the interfaces. So let's have the configuration for the interface. So what I'll do, I'm not going to put the values because this template need to be called different locations. So actual IP information I'll not put here. Okay. So how it is going to be configured? So let's go in the WAN. So I'm already WAN. So I'll give the network name. So what is my network name? So this is the internet network. This is the internet circuit. So I'll put the network name as internet. And what is the organization? It has been taken automatically. Internet and organization name it is subject zone. No need required a zone. Static. This is the IP for static organization. It is already taken. So this is automatically everything. It has been taken here, right? So it is not giving the circuit type and all. So let me see what else I can see here. So basically this is LAN, not the WAN. Sorry for that. So let me just correct it. Actually, I'm in the wrong place. So let me just go in the WAN first. This is my WAN. Okay. So this is network name is already we created the internet, not drop down, and priority. I'm not going to give any priority. I'll leave as a default priority. Here is a static IP address and circuit provider. I'll leave as a default. Circuit type I can leave as a IP connectivity or broadband. I can say this is the internet and broadband. Circuit media I can select as a Ethernet. Okay, and I'll leave the rest detail as a okay. L2 interface, nothing required. LAN interface. So in LAN interface, you can see this is my make as a LAN network. So LAN, I can make as a LAN network. So this is my LAN, this is my organization name. So no other, this is going to check the routing instance. So on which VR the routing is going to be captured for LAN one. So this is the lab LAN VR. Okay. So where the routing is going to be happen. And for the WAN, you can see here, let me just go in the WAN. So here we don't have any VR and all, it will create automatically later stage. So this is my LAN and this is my static IP address for the IPv4. So now it's done. So after that, I'll click the continue. So I'll continue. I can save also, I can continue also. So better I can continue from here. Later we'll save. Do you want to use the split tunneling feature? The answer is no. I don't want to use any split tunneling. Later we can require, then we'll understand how the split tunneling is going to be. Split tunneling, that means if let's say suppose you want to send the traffic directly from the DIA local to the site, and some of the traffic you want to send to the data center for the corporate access. So from the one circuit, you just having the one of the internet gateway, one is for the data center reachability. So that is also possible in the SD-WAN. So I'm not going to use here for the split tunneling and all. So what next? So I will just continue from here. So no other information is going to require. Routing. Also, I'm not going to use any BGP OSP of routing here. Later we'll see how the routing is going to be configured. So I'll just select here from the this point of view, routing point of view. So I'm not going to use anything, but what I'm going to select routing instance. So for the lab, this one, and here is a next hop tunnel. I'm not using anything, and prefixes for the LAN VR. I'm just use a variable. So I'll click here and I'll click on this setting and it will create the variable and I'll just add it here. So I'll put this value when I'll define the LAN routing information. So it is has been done from here. No other information I need to put here. I'll just continue. So routing has been done. So this is inbound NAT. So NAT is not required for my case. So I'm not going to configure the NAT. So after NAT, it is services. So you can say if you want to DSCP services, DSCP relay, firewall services. So you can configure. So let me just use the firewall services as a next generation firewall services. So I can continue next generation firewall services. You can see. So every step is written here in a lab guide. So you just have to follow the steps if you're a beginner for the doing the template creation. Now the IP reachability not required. So just I'll create the template from here. So we are the last stage you can see here and we'll create the template. Once I'll create the template, one template will be created here, but it is not going to apply anywhere. So this is just created. So you can see this template has been just created. So what next? So my template has been fully created. So the first step to creation of template has been done. So device template has been created. Now just have to work on the device group. So then how the device group is going to come in a picture. So let's understand the lab guide. So see next to create a device group. So for the creating the device group, you just have to go in the configuration and you just have to create the device group. So let me just go in the configuration and I'll create the device group. And in this device group, I can map the multiple devices, whatever I want. So I'll just click here, device group. Already here, and I'll just add it here. Here, I'll just add the name of the device group. So I'll make the device group as a internet device group. Why internet? Because these two sites are solely become to the internet. Okay. Internet branch device group. I'll make the name internet branch device group. So let me just make a name as per my best practice. Here in the lab guide, it is completely different. You can see, but I can use the any of the name. It's my choice how basically I want to make. Okay. So I'll go here. Let me just here. And I'll make internet branch device group. So this is my internet branch device, and I'll just put the name here also. This is my internet branch device group. So now my internet branch device group has been created. It by default taking the organization and post decision template, you just have to give the branch age 1 internet. So this is my branch age 1 internet for which basically I just want to bring on this particular staging device. Staging template, I don't use anything for time being, and this is for going to apply for the branch. So this step is going to, so device template created, device group created, and we just map to the device, end device on which basically we want to push basically this configuration. So branch 1 has been done. So I'll just process and I'll just click OK, and we'll see this kind of device group is going to be created. So see, this is device group has been created and it is having some phone number appliance. We didn't put anything, so just leave it. After this, next, what next? After this, we just have to go in the workflow again and we just have to create the devices. Okay. So finally, device has been mapped, but we just have to create the devices for these steps, and we just finally bind the data. So let me just go workflow and the devices, and here is a device, and I'll go here and I'll just create the device. So here's my device, and here we'll do the binding of the data. So now what I have to do, we just have to follow the lab guide. Here I'll just put the name of the branch location. So this is my BR1 H1 device name. So this is my branch 1 H1. So this is already taken the global unique ID, organization of the unit lab, branch deployment mode is the like bare metal device. I'm not going to share. I can put the serial number. So you can put any of the serial number. So whatever the name you have, just put the same serial number here. So I'll just going to put the serial number as a BRH1. Even if you not put the serial number, it is not going to create an issue, but you can put any number. So I'll just put this is the name, whatever I have, that is a serial number. You can just put here is the another way of the serial number. Device group, it is just taken the internet branch device group. So this device is part of this particular device group. Okay. Select the model. I don't want to select the model. Bandwidth you want to select, just take the 100 Mbps. License 1 year, phone number, anything, leave it. Just now make a continue. So continue, I'll click here. Address, I'll make the India, state Delhi. And I'll just continue. Service device, I don't have to put anything. So I'm not going to do it. Lastly, I'll go in the bind data. Okay. So this is a bind data. This is actual bind data. And in this bind data, actual configuration you have to do for this device, where you just have to assign the IP addresses for the LAN and WAN IP address. And then it is going to push to the particular device. So let's do the final configuration as per the bind data, which is so device template, device group, and devices we just build. And now we just have to combine all three together to just bind data and push to the actual device. So how it is going to happen? So let me just go there. So now I'm in the bind data. Just click on this name. If you click on this name, it is asking, what is the internet IPv4 address in mask? So what is the internet? So this is my internet. So this is my IP address 122.1.10.2. So I'll just put here 122.1.2.1.10.2/24. So this is my internet ISP IP address. Okay. What is your LAN IP address and subnet mask? What is my LAN? 192.1.10.1. So this is my LAN. You can see this is my, so 1 is assigned to over here and 2 is assigned to here. So 192.1.10.1/24. So this is my LAN IP address. What is the LAN VR next hop IP address? So I configured .2 here in this interface. So I'll just make as a next hop as a .2. All SVI is going to be created on this branch switch for the LAN. So I'll just make as a, let me just copy it and just paste it. This is my 2. Okay. Now it is asking, what is my LAN subnet IP prefix list? So LAN IP prefix. So might be in this my branch switch, I have to create some kind of the, let me just create it for testing purpose. So I'm this switch. So I'll just make the host name. Let me just do it. So host name I'll make as a BR1. Let me just BR1 switch 1. Okay. And in this I'll go on the interface gig 0x0. No switch port. I'll assign the IP address, that is IP address 192.1.10.255. This is my IP address .0, and I'll make a no shut. So let me just create some loopback here as a LAN IP address. So what I can do, I can just go here, interface loopback 1. I'll assign the IP address 1.1.1.1, 255, 255, 255, and 255. No shit. And let me just do show IP interface brief. So this is my interface, and let me just do right. So you can see this is my interface. On this interface, basically, I just have assigned the IP address. So let's suppose this is your LAN subnet. Okay. So from this router perspective, I have just defined the LAN subnet is a 1.1.1.1/32. So this is my LAN subnet. Now it is asking what is your next hop for the internet transport VR. So this is a virtual router. So they are asking if you want to go in the ISP, what is the next hop IP address? So for me, ISP, let me just close this one. Let me just write the configuration. I believe it is already written. So what is my next hop? So for next hop is 122.1.10.1. So I'll go here. I'll make 122.1.10.1. So this is my next hop from this point of view. And I'll click OK. So this has been done. So this has been done. Then we are good to go to deploy this particular template. Okay. So once we'll deploy, it is try to communicate with the branch edge router, but it will not fully communicate because we just have to follow some additional process. So you can see the bind data. We just have done this step where we just bind the information. We have done this. And if I just deploy the configuration, we'll see the status. So let me deploy it. So you can see this has been deployed, right? So this template has been deployed, but still it is not functional, not up and working. So if you go in the administrator and if you try to check in the administration in the hardware, so whatever the hardware we have, you can see this is my site location. It is showing the SIP. This is showing as a SIP. Here also you can see this is showing the SIP. That means it has been SIP from the branch location, but still it is not up and working. So if I go in here, configuration, and if I go in the devices, you can see there is no device showing up and working for me. It has been SIP. It is showing here in the status as a hardware has been SIP. So one location hardware has been SIP. So till here, we just done the template configuration, not here till here. So we just completed. So now we're done with the template creation. Now we just have to onboard this template on the branch location by this router. So let me just open this router first because it is going to be useful now. So here I'll go and I'll just make as a black and white and see I'm in this. This is if you log in this. So if you log out, so you have to just log in and you are in the Linux command mode, right? And if you just if you go in the CLI and you'll not find any of the configuration. I have defined the IP address probably from the static that is going to show, but if it is not any configuration, not going to make any sense for you. So see this configuration, it is showing because I have defined, but when I'll try to do the J2B process, this will not going to be in use. Or what I can do, let me just remove this configuration for your understanding. So how can I remove? So let me just go in the configuration and let me say no set. It is going to take when I'm not too much familiar with the Juniper command. So let me use the delete set. Let me see what it is taking. Delete interface. Okay, delete interface. Okay, this is the VNI 0x0 and the unit 0 family, and then inet address. So this is my address. So let me just delete this one. Okay. So hopefully this is going to delete. Let me see. Okay. So let me just commit it. So finally I found some command. Let me just exit it. Show interface brief. So you can see now my IP has been deleted. So no IP is configured on this but VNI interfaces. So finally successfully I have deleted the IP address from this particular interface. Although I'm not Juniper expert, but I'm trying my best. Sorry for that. So now this box is pretty new for me. So we just created the template. I just repeat again, I just created a template. We just created the device group. We just created the devices and we know that device has been shipped, but still it is not up and working. So now how it is going to up and working? So this is the onboard Versa-SDWAN devices via the scripting process. So there is two process. We can go via the URL based scripting onboarding process, JTP process, or via the scripting process. So how can I go? So just I have to go in this particular directory of this Versa edge. So let me just go on the Versa edge. So this is my Versa edge. So first I have to exit in the Linux command. This is my directory. And if I'm doing the ls -l, you can see I have a lot of script available here. So probably which script I need to use, I'll just grab this staging script. So I'll just go here and I'll just see that. You can see there are a lot of staging script. So it is we are able to see staging script or not. Let me see staging script. We are able to see somewhere. Or let me just use grep ls -l grep. It is not. Let me just see. Oh, you can see this is the staging py. You can see. So you probably just have to change this line to this line. Okay. So probably it is not going to give the. So this is my staging. And then I'll just use this command help. So already I know this is a staging py. So I'll just use this one and I'll just put the help. So you can see it is asking the password. So I'll just Versa123. So now you can see this is a lot of information I have for the staging. So this is a lot of variables. So we just have to understand what that means. -h is the help arguments. R is equal to remote ID, N is equal to serial number, C is equal to controller, T is equal to staging prerequisites. So based on that information, we just have to prepare another script. I can directly run this script without running these two commands, but I just showing you guys understand how basically we come to know while building the script. So once you do this command, so we just need to build the script. So how the script is going to build based on the controller IP information, based on the controller, this domain controller and the branch domain name information, we just have to build this kind of the script. So this is the script. So you can see this is my script. So let me just copy in this notepad and I just have to build the script for the onboarding the devices. So in this script, you can see -w is equal to this serial number, right? So what is my serial number? We just have to copy from the template when I created that. So let's complete this one by one and then we'll understand from where information is going to be gathered. So I need this first. This is common. This -w will be the common. It is not going to see, -w is equal to, you'll find some definition here. -w, you probably find -b is equal to VLAN, be able to see H and C, C, T minus G minus C minus T minus P minus P. Where it is W probably will find. I'm not able to see right now, but yes, it must be there somewhere. Yes, you can see W. W is equal to the number script. Okay, so WAN port numbers. You can see this is the W is equal to WAN port numbers. So it will start from 0. 0 is equal to VNI 0 by 0. So whenever you just want to build, so it is going to ask this command and W0. That is my WAN port number. So let's say suppose in your case, you having the different WAN port number. So in my case, let's say suppose you want to use different WAN port, like you can see this is the VNI 0, 0 by 1. So you just have to 0, 1 like that. So while preparing the script, you just have to. So for my case, it's the WAN 0, right? And -n is the serial number. So where I'll get the serial number, I'll go here. And if I click the template, and you'll find this serial number. So this is my BR age 1. So let me just go and add my serial number here. So I'll make as a BR1 and EDG1. And now it is asking -C is equal to connected IP address. So you can see here -C, you will see that the connected IP address somewhere to your controller IP address, not connected IP, it's a controller IP address. So for me, the controller IP address would be, you can see this is 112 122.10.10.2. So I'll go there and I'll put the controller IP address 10.10.2, and minus s is equal to my like local IP address. You can see again the definition minus s. You will find here static IP address which is configured on the WAN link. You can see here. So what is my static IP address configured on the WAN link? That is my 122.10.10.2. So this is my static gateway. This is G equal to gateway. So gateway would be the ISP gateway IP address, right? And minus L is equal to your SD-WAN controller details. So let's understand minus L. So where is minus L? Probably we can find, see minus local ID. You can see minus is local ID and this is a remote ID. Then how I can find the remote and local? Remote ID is my controller and local is my branch edge router ID. So how I can find these two informations? So let's understand. So to finding these two information, you just have to go in this particular, just follow the lab guide. You can, I have just clearly mentioned that how can I find this information. So what you have to do, you just have to go in your configuration. In configuration, you just have to go in the controller. So let me just go. So I'm going here and I'll go in the configuration and I'll go in the controller. If you go in the controller, you just go in this services, right? And services, you'll go in the IPsec and VPN profiles. And here in the VPN profiles, you'll find the internet controller staging. So what is the internet controller staging? That's for the internet only. This is for the internet. If you build the MPLS, it is going to create the MPLS also. See, right now it is automatically build the MPLS, internet, and the lab GuiNet post controller as well. So we require the internet and the lab one. Okay. So this is my remote and this is my local one. So I'll click here in the remote. And if I'll go here, the downside I key, you just have to go in the I key and you'll find this is the SD-WAN branch. So you can see here, SD-WAN branch, GuiNet. This is my local SD-WAN branch. And here you just have to put, let me just put GUI net underscore lab.com. So you make sure this is the correct one. So whatever this identity we have, that is a local identity, you just have to use SD-WAN dash BRANCH @GUINET underscore .com. If it is not going to match, it is not going to come up. So here you find this one. Now you can see it is the same here information. You just go and now you just have to click on the I key and just you'll find this information. Okay. And you'll find the controller identity also here in the same location on the same steps. So let me show you. I forgot to show you. So let me just go here again and let me just go in the I key. It will also show the controller identity. See, so this is the local and this is the controller identity. So local is this one, controller is this one. So in controller also everything will be the same. Let me just see. Only the last stage we have to change, that is GuiNetLab.com. One is the branch, one is the controller. So now it is okay. So now my script is fine. So now I am ready with the script. So if I run this script, so what is going to happen? This branch is basically going to, with the different staging steps, whatever we just learning, that pre-staging, post-staging, and the staging steps. And finally, if everything is going to be good, it is going to form the IPsec tunnel and it is going to be up and working on the controller. So I hope it is, everything is right. So I have just written the script. So let me just verify. This is my WAN and this is my serial number. This is my local IP address, controller IP address. This is my local, this is my gateway, and this is the, so let me just copy this script and let me just go in the branch one. And here you can see, if I'm going the CLI, show interface brief, I don't have any configuration. Let me just exit here from again, and I'll just paste this particular script. And after pasting this script, I'll just press enter. So It is I found existing config on system. Okay, so this script is not taking because it is asking there is some existing configuration what we just done it. So what I can do, let me just erase this configuration. So request running configuration erase command. So let me just erase it. Okay, I just have to go in the CLI and I just have to run this command. I just use the yes. So it will take some time and it is erasing the configuration because we just did the manual configuration. So it is just saying like already it is configured. So let me just run the command in the CLI now. Failed to connect to server. So it is might be take some time. So just I'm pausing the video and we'll connect again. Let's complete it. So now it looks my restart has been completed. So subsystem is started Versa V mode. So let me just show interface brief. So now you can see there's no configuration again. It's fully default configuration. So you make sure there is no existing configuration on the router or branch device before running the any script. So we just made some changes. So that's why it's not taking the configuration. Now let me just use this again script and try to paste it. And I'll paste enter. And you see it is running the scripts. So it will take some time. So just have to wait for a couple of minutes and see it is trying to loading the configuration. It will take around 1 or 2 minutes to just complete. And then it is going to reboot and then again it will come up. So we just have to wait. So I'm pausing the video. So guys, after deploying the script, it looks we are getting the IP address on the interfaces, but not all the IP address. It looks there is some issue in the script or might be some issue in the template configuration. So I need to just verify. So what I'll do, I'll just, let me just try one more time. Let me just try one more time. I'll just exit from script. Let me just exit out and admin Versa-123. But the problem is if I'll try again, it is going to throw out the error because some configuration is partially updated, so not correctly. So I'm in this directory. Now let me see, try to run this script. It will throw out the error, I know that. Okay, Versa-123. So see, this is saying found some existing configuration. So what do we have to do? I just have to figure out what actually have to went wrong in this script. So in this upcoming video, I'll explain from very beginning again how this script can be run. So I believe you understand clearly how this can be a template can be created. And after the template creation, how this device group and other staging template can be created, how this can be shipped. Only the next things we have to check, like how this is going to be onboard via the scripting, which is having some issue, but next video definitely it is going to be fixed. So thank you so much for watching. I'll explain the next video for the further process.